Afternoon, folks. Here it is again. Absolute light radiating from the sun. Have the sun up in the sky. It's absolute light. It's banging on the back of the stick. Here's a shadow going onto that board, onto the card, onto the mirror. The sun is also bang in line with that mirror, but the stick is stopping it from hitting you directly, and then the rest of the stick runs off of the board. If I move slightly to the right, there's the absolute light from the light source. If I move to the left, there it is as well. It's basically pretty damn close to a perfectly straight line. In this straight line, we have the sun, then we have 2, 3, and the mirror 4, and the bounce to you 5. There are 5 things perfectly lined up from that light source, right? And this simply cannot happen with finite light, because if there are photons that are traveling at 299,792 kilometers per second, and they are taking 8 minutes and 20 seconds to hit this stick from that light source that's in the sky, that light source that is in the sky simply cannot be where it is. It's too... what was I going to say? It is not possible. There is no delay in the sun reaching us. It's absolute light. There are no photons involved in what is happening right here. It is the light source itself. You cannot separate the green grass, and it is green grass. If the sun turned out, it would be dark, but the grass is still green. Light is absolute. Our eyesight is also absolute. There is no delay. When you're looking at a light source in the night sky, you're seeing a light source exactly where it is. There is no delay. It's not a very smart thought, especially after seeing how a solar eclipse works. There can be no photon. It cannot coexist in a universe where the solar eclipses play out the way they do here. Relativity cannot coexist in a universe where the solar eclipses play out like they do here. The reason for this is because there is no light delay. It is absolute light. There are no photons. That stick is not blocking photons, it is blocking the light source itself. If the light source goes out, all of the light that light source was radiating, doesn't matter how far away it is, disappears with the light source. That sun goes out right now, we're thrown into darkness. We know that, we can work that out because of what we're seeing right here, right? I will say it, this is a common sense thing. You can see the sun in the sky, and you can see the shadow that the stick is casting from that sun in the sky. There are no photons. And think about this for a second. If there was a light delay of 8 minutes and 20 seconds, would we ever see the sun? No. We wouldn't ever see it. If it always took 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the light from the sun to reach us, the sun would always be 8 minutes and 20 seconds ahead of where we can see. And if we're spinning on our axis, we would never see it The only time we would ever see it is if everything stopped and froze for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Then we would see it. But then if we moved again, we'd have to wait another 8 minutes and 20 seconds before we saw the sun again. No, we'd never see it again until everything stopped again. Earth starts spinning again, the sun disappears again. We would never ever see the sun. It's a fact, because it would always be 8 minutes and 20 seconds ahead of where we can see. Work it out. The light radiating from the sun is absolute. It cannot be delayed by 8 minutes and 20 seconds. We would never see the sun in our entire lives. There would always be photons coming from a direction where the sun was 8 minutes and 20 seconds earlier. Always. Like, we would be out here on this graph, and I'd go like this, and there would be photons arriving from 2.08 degrees off on a tangent, right? Because the sun, we'd never see the sun. We'd just be getting photons. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. A light source, you will see a light source from the onset. A light bulb, a good high-powered flashlight, a spotlight on the back of a Jeep, the sun. It does not matter what we're talking about. All of them radiate their light at absolute speed. The bulb maybe 5Ks, a good powerful torch maybe 15Ks, the spotlight, I don't know, maybe 40 kilometers. The sun, as far as you want to go. They all radiate their light at the very same speed, but the power and the size of the light source determines how far that light will radiate. And we've got the light that we can see, that we can detect. But that light, the stars in the night sky, you're not going to get a shadow cast, are you? If there's no moon and it's in the middle of the night and I come out here in the pitch black and hope for some kind of shadow because of the stars, no. If I turn around and I look at them with my eyes, I can then see them. Your eyesight is absolute as well. There is no distance your eyesight will not see like that if there is a light source powerful enough to be seen. Supernova, maybe sometime at the end of April next year, if there is a supernova, and it comes from a star that we didn't even know was there, but you'll see it because it is, boom, the intensity has just increased by who knows how much, and for a brief few moments you'll see another light source in the night sky because it's powerful enough, and then as it slowly fizzles out, it will disappear again. That is how light works. If a supernova, a star goes, doesn't matter how many stars go supernova in anyone's lifetime, if you don't see them from the onset, you're not going to see them in a few years down the road. It's not going to happen, boom, and then it just keeps on radiating light. Even when the star's gone out, the light is still continuing around all the place. It doesn't work like that. Light is absolute. You can see it or you can't. You can see it or you cannot see it. It does not travel in a sense. Obviously, the light has to get from the sun to here to cast a shadow, but it isn't a case of the sun has to get to here. The shadow is being cast by that stick because it is blocking out the light source. It's not the light source radiating stuff that the stick blocks. The stick is blocking the absolute light radiating off of that star. There is no delay. It's right here in front of people. If it were finite light, this could not be happening. You would not get these things lined up. You would never see the sun. You would never see the sun. How are you going to see the sun if it's always 8 minutes and 20 seconds ahead? I've thought about this one long and hard. We would never see the sun because it's always 8 minutes and 20 seconds ahead of itself. It's ridiculous. Don't they say, the science says, if the sun went out right now, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. So for the next 8 minutes and 20 seconds while I'm doing this, we wouldn't know. How are we not going to know? We can see the light source in the sky. It goes out, it's dark, isn't it? Some of the things, right? There can be no light without a light source. Light does not travel forever at all. Light will travel as far as it can from the light source at absolute speed, and then it does not reach any further. People who are looking at the light source can get further away from it. It won't cast a shadow. But once you're out of range, that's it. Unless it gets closer or more powerful, or you get closer or use a telescope, you won't see that light source again. And looking at a light source through a telescope, again, if we're looking up at the night sky and we cannot see certain stars, we get a telescope and suddenly we can see further than we could with a naked eye. Nothing has changed. You're seeing those light sources through the telescope in real time because they radiate absolute light. There is no delay. It does not take you, Scooty, 2 hours and 12 minutes to radiate light the distance of its own diameter. It does not take 4.6 seconds for our, my sun, to radiate its light the distance of its diameter. Those things are ridiculous and actually insult people's intelligence. They're stars. There is no such thing as a photon in a universe where the solar eclipses play out like you're seeing right now. There is no delay between the light source and the stick that is blocking that light source. It is absolute. Relativity cannot exist in a universe where solar eclipses play out like they do here, because relativity is finite light. That's what relativity is. That's what a light year is. There is no such thing as a light year. The light, you will see it or you don't see it. If you don't see it from the onset, you will not see it at all. It's not going to travel towards you for 4 years and then go, hi, oh, hello, 4-year-old light. It does not work like that. You see it from the onset or you don't see it at all. Everything I've just said, slam dunk, slam dunk, slam dunk, slam dunk, slam dunk. And I slam dunk those slam dunks as well. And that slam dunk, slam dunk. There is no delay in the light radiating from a light source. You're either close enough and you can see it, or you're not close enough and you don't ever see it. That is how light works. I reckon that somebody, 1776, somehow worked out the speed of light, or close to it, by observing Io as it slipped out from behind Jupiter. And the further and further we got from Jupiter in our orbit around the sun, the longer it took for Io. It seemingly took longer for Io to appear, and it was put down to a light delay. How so? What kind of light delay are they talking about? Because there is no light delay. Look, the stick is casting a shadow, and the absolute light is right behind it. There is no light delay. So obviously Roma didn't do it, but then there's the evidence once again. It's all in front of people. All right, we're coming up to 14 minutes. Guys, the light radiating from the sun, from all, look, I always say sun and stars. Slam dunk. But why would any other light be different? And GPS and stuff like that does not prove a thing. And taking people's word that other people have worked it out is presuming, presumption. don't presume. Where's the evidence? All right, laters.